My name is Swati Tyagi, and I will be teaching you basic Python tutorials that are required for data analysis, data science, and machine learning. We know that Python is a high-level programming language, and it is predominantly used in web development, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analysis. So let's roll. So if you are a beginner and you are starting, so you can start with Google Colab. That is easily available if you go to your Google account and you just scroll and check Google Colab. You can start typing and start your programming. And if you want to do it on your machine, then you have to download VS Code. You can download Anaconda, and then you have to download the Python. So I'm just taking you through the key concept and then how you can download the VS Code, how can you connect it with your Git. That I will make a separate video on that. So now let's roll. So for example, if you want to define an integer here, like x is equal to 5, so you just define it like this. And if you want to print the type, you are not sure that x variable is of what type, then you can print it by just giving print type x and it will print. Similarly, if I want to define a string, you just give a variable. It could be any name, x, y, z, the variable name, and you just pass the string variable, the string you define by giving the quotes. So this is a series. In the first video, in this video, basically, I'm covering the basics. How can you define the variables? What are different type of variable, integer, string, float, and then what are the basic operations that you can perform? How can you perform operations like subtraction, division, exponentiation, and how can you concatenate the two string? Those basics we will go through in this video. Then I will also create other videos that will talk about how can you define the function, what is the importance of the function. Then we will talk about object-oriented programming that will mainly focus on how can you define the classes, what is the concept of inheritance, and then there are the two major libraries that are used in data analysis, NumPy and Pandas. What is the purpose of using NumPy and where we use Pandas? And then we will talk about data visualization in another video. What are the common libraries that we use for data visualization? Like Matplotlib, Seaborn. And then in the end, I will create a video on some useful tips and the modules that you can use and for your day-to-day data analysis and in machine learning. So let's begin with a simple example. So if you are new and you don't know anything, how can you basically begin with Python? So for example, we all have studied maths in our junior classes and we have calculated the area of a circle. So the area of a circle formula is pi r square. So here we have inbuilt packages in Python. You just import math package where you can get the value of pi. You don't need to pass the value of pi explicitly. You can just .mat.pi and it will use that value from this package that is already defined. And then you just pass the value of a radius. So radius could be 2, radius could be 7, and it dynamically passed the value here, and then we calculate the formula. So this is just a basic example, simple example I just wanted to tell you. So there are various concepts in this print. One is your F string. What is the purpose of the F string that we will cover later in this video? .2f. What .2f is doing is basically rounding off the decimal numbers, like 94. Because pi is a 3.14 so and so. So, but we want to just round off to the 2 decimal value. So that we are doing. So now let us start with commenting, printing, and defining text and numerical variables. So if you want to comment like multi-section, so this is how you can do it. You can add, this is my first tutorial. And then if you want to print something, you can just pass in the print comment, print. hello world. If you want to comment this thing, then you just pass the hash value, it will comment that part. Now, how can you define the variable? You can define the variable in camel case and in the snake case. If you're defining in camel case, then you have to, the first character will be small and the character of the second string like name will be your uppercase. If you are defining in snake, then you can give underscore my underscore variable. Now, if you are defining the string, so you just need to pass this in. For example, you can define the string like this, you can print the string, and if you want to check the type, if the type is really string, then you can check that the class type is str. How can you concatenate the two string? You just, if you want to concatenate my string 1 with my string 2, you just add this plus with sign operator here, and it will give you a consolidated my name is Swati. And here you can use the print. You can either pass like my string, here you are passing, but there are different ways to dynamically pass this variable. One, I will show you the format, another is f string. Now, if you want to replace the Swati in this string with Anuj, you can use the replace, which is an inbuilt function, and then it will be, you will be able to replace. So for example, if you want to replace with Tyagi, so if you run this, and if you want to replace this, it will get replaced with Tyagi. Now you can use the format. So format function can be used to insert something into a string. Like for example, if you want to insert this string inside the another string, you just pass the curly bracket and use dot format. And if dynamically this variable, this string will get passed into another string. And if you print it, then my name is Swati will get passed into another string. Now comes the concept of index. So for example, you are passing multiple variable. It's not just one you are passing. You can pass multiple string variables inside this format. So last name is a 0 index and the first name is at 1 index. So for example, I'm printing my name is 0 at 0 index and then 1 and 0. So at 0, it is picking up Gates. So it will print my name is Gates, and then it will print here Bill and then Gates. So let's see. So it's printing my name is Gates and Bill, Gates. So here 0 is replaced by the first argument that is provided to the format function, and the 1 is getting replaced by the second argument. Now, if you want to find where this word is located in this string. So for example, this is the string, where is my house in this community? And I want to find that, okay, where is this word in this string? You can use how, you can use this find, which is an inbuilt function. If this word is not located, it will return -1, that it is not found. And if it is located, for example, I just change it to house, then it will tell me the position, how it's calculating the position. So for example, it will start with 0 index. So 0 is W, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then space is also considered its index value. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12. It starts with 12. So house basically H begins with is at position 12. Now, how can you define integer variable? You just put the a is equal to 1, whatever value you want to give, -2. You want to give like floating value, you can pass 5.1, 5.2, that we can see. You can perform either operation, like you can perform using the symbol operator plus, you can perform sum operation, minus operator, you can perform the subtraction of function that you do on calculator, on pen and paper. Similarly, you can do here. You can do multiplication by using this asterisk symbol. You can do the division by using the slash symbol. And if you want to do the exponential, like 3 to the power 3, which is 27. And if I want to do it like 4 to the power 3, that means 4 multiplying by 4 3 times. It will give me 64. But if I remove this, which is just 4 multiplied by 3, it will give me 12. So just take care of that piece. I said that you can just simply use the unique variable name and then pass on the value that you want to give. So this is of float type. The decimal values are float type. If you pass any number that is of non-decimal, that is of int type. And if you pass the string, which is in quotes, that is of str class. Now, how can we improve like our printing practice? So format is the one inbuilt function. Here you can use dot format. It's not just for a string. Like earlier I showed you that if you want to pass one string to another, or if you want to print a string dynamically, you can use the format. But also you can use the format for passing any variable value dynamically during the print time, or from one variable to another variable in the calculation. If you want to pass it, you can pass it. The substitute of format is f string. You use f. So here we are using f and we are dynamically passing the value. We are using the curly bracket. So if you are using the format, you don't need to use the curly bracket. You need to use the round bracket and you can pass the variable. If you are using the f string, you have to use the curly bracket. And also there is a substitute for it. You just need to pass the variable name is equal to. If you don't want to, like if you want to print like a is equal to 1, ad is equal to 5.1, so you don't need to explicitly then define here a something like this that I'm talking about. You can, this will throw the error, so you just need to define like this, and a, it will automatically pick the value of a. Now coming to the Boolean, what are basically Boolean types? So Booleans are of type bool, which is true and false. So here we are defining this like pass is equal to true and pass b is equal to false. So based on this, we can write the conditions. So there are different type of conditions. Equal to, if you want to check if two variables are equal, then we use equal to. If not, then not equal to. This is the symbol. If less than, then this is the symbol. If less than or equal to, then we use less than and equal to symbol, and greater than. These are the symbols. So we use if else condition to check. So if pass a is equal to true, then it will print pass a is true. Otherwise, it will print pass a is not true. Now, you can compare the two string by using equal to. Similarly, if not a string, if there is any other variable, like you can compare that also using equal to. Now, moving forward to other logical operators. So, for example, x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 6. You want to print if x is equal to 5, that is, and y is equal to 6, then print this. So we know that x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 6, so it will print the first one. If x is equal to 5 or y is equal to 5. So this one condition is getting meet. Now you will say why this logic gets printed, because one of the condition or is about one of the condition. If you use and, then it will not get print. So only the first if logic will get print, the second logic will not, because now we have used and. But if we use or, then either of the condition gets satisfied, and that's this, the second one is also getting printed. Now you can compare like multiple conditions. If x is equal to y and y is equal to z, print this. So this is, I'm using print. You can perform any operation, like if x is equal to y, x is less than y and y is equal to less than z, then you can perform sum operation, multiplication operation, or if you want to call some another function, you can call from this. Now comes the case like match statement. So if error is coming 404, then you print page not found. So usually when you open, some www. some page, you go to some URL, many times you find this error 404. How the logic is written behind this. So if it is not able to connect to the server, and from the backend it is getting 404 error, then we put this match with the error. Whatever the error is coming, here we are passing 404, but it is coming from the backend dynamically. So suppose it comes 505, then it will print that error 505, HTTP version not supported. Now comes how we define the loop. So we use like range. You pass the number from where to where you want to run. So it gives number from 0 up to n minus 1, increment 1 by 1. So if you're running the loop for I in range 10, then it will print the number till 9 because it run till n minus 1. So that you need to keep in mind. If you want to give a range, like, okay, let's start with 2 to 10, then it will print from 2 to 9. So n minus 1. The range will run till n minus 1. Now, what while statement do? So this was about the for loop. Now, while is still I is less than 10, keep printing it. So here we are explicitly in doing it I plus 1. If we won't do it, then I will not be greater than 10 in any scenario, and it will be a never ending loop while. So here we are incrementing it, and it will print. I don't want to do this, but it will keep on printing it until the condition breaks. That's I want to say. Now, if you want to explicitly come out of the loop. So for example, any exception came and you don't want to execute the next statement and you want to come out of that loop, the inside loop. So you use this break statement. So if I is greater than 5, then it will break and then print only till 5. So we'll run it. If we don't use this thing, for example, what happened? Let me just show you. If we don't use this statement, it will only print when I will be greater than 5. So it will print the scenario 6, 7, 8, 9. But we don't want to print those scenario. We want to break here, right? And then break here, and we want to print only from 0 to 5. So it will print. So break is something based on a condition. You want to come out of this inside logic, the inside condition, not so based on this, you will come out of this inside logic, and then you will exit the loop, but you will print all the things before this condition get met. Now coming to the continue. So if you want to skip some of the logic based on certain condition get matched. So for example, if I is even number, even how do you calculate the even number? If it is divided by 2 and the remainder of that division is equal to 0. If a number is divided by 2, then the remainder will be 0, or it is an odd number, for example. So currently, if it is an even number, then it will skip those entries and it will print all the odd number. For example, if we want to skip the odd number and we want to print all the even numbers, so it will be able to print all the even numbers. No, this is not skipping, like it is skipping only those numbers that are divisible by 3. So it is skipping 3, it is skipping 6, and it is skipping 9. Similarly, it will skip those numbers that are divisible by 2. It is skipping 2, it is skipping 4, it is skipping 6 and 8. Right? Okay. Now, what are tuples? Coming to the concept of tuple. Tuple are used to store multiple items in a single value, in a single variable. And a tuple is one of the 4 inbuilt data type in Python, which are used to store collection of data. Other 3 are list, set, and dict. How tuple is different? Tuple is immutable data type. It's an object. And so if you want to define my tuple, this is an empty tuple. You can define like this. My tuple is equal to this, you can provide, you have to use round bracket when you are passing the values in the tuple. You have passed apple, orange, pineapple, strawberry, and you are printing it. It's printing the class type is tuple. And here in the second, we have used f string, remember. You just need to use the variable and you just need to use the equal to, and it will automatically print the value, and it is printing apple, orange, pineapple. Now, if you want to count what is the count of apple in this tuple, these count is an inbuilt function that I'm using some of the inbuilt function. There are a lot of inbuilt function that Python support. So you have to go through that. I will provide the link of the Python official page where you can go and study and read what are the inbuilt functions and tuple, string, list, and dictionary support, so that you can go through it and use it in your programming. They will come really handy. So what is the index where the pineapple is situated? Is at position. It is at position 2. So I will explain you the concept of immutable and mutable. But let's first explain you what list is, set is, and dictionary is, and then we will come back to this concept of mutable and immutable. Now, list is defined using this square brackets. So you can pass like integer string within the list, and the type remains same. It will be the list. You can use append to append any variable here to the list, and then you can use length inbuilt function to calculate the length of the list. You can use like 0 if you want to pass, like if you want to print the value which is at 0 index, then it will print like 1 value. The content of the list at 0 index is 1. At 1 it is 2, and at -1, which is from the backward side, from the reverse side, it's 5. So it will print 5. Now, pop is used to remove an item from the list. So if you are passing my list.pop 1, so it will remove uh, the item which is at index 1. So what is an item at index 1 is 2. So it will remove 2. So my list after removing will be 1, 3, 4, 5, because 2 gets removed, and the remove item is 2. Now, if you want to print the subset of a string or want to get the subset of a string, you just pass the index from where to where you want to fetch the subindex from. For example, if you want the list from 0 index to 2 index, so it will return 1 and 2. And also, you were thinking that, okay, we removed the 2 item, but why still we are getting 1, 2? Because we have not used in place is equal to true. If we are performing such operation, we either have to store the value back, or we have to use in place equal to true, so that the new updated value get reflected and get stored in the list. Now, there are different ways if you want to get the item. So for example, if you want to just print the item, you just do for item in list 1, it will print the item. But if you want to get the counter as well as the item, then you use this enumerate method that adds a counter to an iterable and return enumerate object. So if you use enumerate, then it will give you the counter value and also give you the item value. So here we are printing the counter value. List 1 is not defined. Okay. Where did we define? My list. I defined. So let me pass list only here, and then it will type object is not iterable. Okay. Sorry. So this is my list. My bad. You can't pass the direct object that is there in the definition. So you have to write your own name, variable name. You just can't pass list, str, tuple, but you need to define the variable names. Okay, now we are good. it is printing both counter and the item value. Now, if you want to, iterate over the two list at a time. For example, there is a list A and there is a list B. List A is having 1, 2, 3 item, and list B is having 4, 5, 6. And you want to iterate over. The naive way of doing is that you run over the length, because both the list have the same length. You run over the length of one list, and then you access both list A and B, like we are accessing here. Or you can use zip method and take iterable, aggregate them in tuple and returns it. So you are making a tuple of both the list, and then you are running over it, and you are getting the value of AV and BV. What AV and BV is representing? AV is for A list and BV is for B list. So AV having the item from the A list and BV is having the item from the B list. So this any and all. So if you want to compare if any of the item, like any and all function evaluate the item in a list or a tuple to see which are true. Any method return true if any of the item are true, and all return true if all the items are true. Like if all the items are equal, then it will return true. So that's all. Now moving to the concept of sets. So there are other inbuilt functions in list. One is like if you want to join, uh, you know, two lists, you can join. You can append. If you want to append here like 4, 5, you can append in this list. You can use sorted if you want to sort the list. If you want to do it in descending order, you have to pass this reverse is equal to true. By default, it's sort in ascending order. So this is the list 1372, and you want to list, sort in ascending order. You just pass this inbuilt method sorted and pass this list, it will sort it. Now coming to the concept of set. Set is an unordered collection with no duplicate elements. So if you get a problem, okay, remove the duplicate element from this list. So you simply pass that list within the set, and set will return you set will return you the non-duplicated items. And then if you want to convert it back to the list, you have to write it like this: list set my list. So what it is doing, it will return duplicate item, make it in a set form, and then because the problem says you have to return the list, you have to convert it back into the list form. Now coming to the dictionaries. In dictionaries, the data is stored in key value pair. Here, it do not allow the duplicate keys. Duplicate values are possible, but duplicate keys are not possible. So for example, I'm defining my dict with curly bracket, the Emmanuel, Miguel, and Ria, these are the key, and 12, 45, 33, these are the values. You want to print the type, you can print the type, it's a dict type. Now, empty string you can define with just curly brackets. If you how you want to fill, so you want to fill, like you want to add a new key and the value. So I defined a key Swati and the value like age, for example, 25. So I have to define first my dictionary. So I have defined my dict here, and then I'm passing key and value here. If I want to how to loop over the keys of dictionary, so I do it like for key in my dict, and it will print all the keys. Key is equal to like f string. Again, if you are able to recall the concept of f string, it dynamically print the value, and we are able to print all the key value from my dict. So my dict is this I have defined. Now, if you want to loop over both key and value, you just pass key value and you use dot item method, mydict.item. You will be able to get both key and the values. If you want to check if this key exists in my dict, for example, if you want to check if Miguel in my dict, then you just simply write if that key exists in in that dictionary. So you're writing this condition and it will check. If not, and again, if you want to print the value, if that key is exist, I want to print the value. So you just pass my dict and the key, it will fetch the value and it will print it. You can also use the get function. Get function can also retrieve the value associated to a key and get a default value when the key is missing. So for example, if this John key is not there, then it will give -1 in that situation. So it becomes easy to handle those exception scenarios if we use get function. Now, coming, how can you define the similarly, you can use sorted here. So apart from the list, I showed you that you can use sorted inbuilt method to sort the list in ascending order. If you want to do it in descending, you have to pass reverse is equal to true. Now, if you want to do it same for dictionary, both key and value, I will tell you how it is possible. If you are sorting it based on key, you pass item index 0. If you are sorting it based on value, then you pass 1. So create dict fast is not defined. So okay, create dict. Okay, here we are defining dict comprehension. So here, how can you define, giving one by one name, key, value? Here also you can define in an easy way that I forgot to tell you. This is, you can define like all the keys in list format, and the list and the value should be in equal number. If it's blank or something, then it will throw error if those are not in equal number. So if you're defining a dictionary, you zip it, both the list, name, and ages, and here you are giving name dot colon. So this is the key and this is the value, and you are running the loop over this to list using the zip function, and you are creating a dictionary. So this is how you are able to create the dictionary. And now we were getting this error. Now we are able to define this create dict fast, and we have to sort it based on key value. So L come first, then Lucia, then Maria, then Miguel, then R. So if I pass here 1, then it will sort it based on the value. So currently, for example, it was 0, then you can see that 33 is coming before 32 because we are sorting based on the key value, which is your string. So we are comparing basically which word comes before which word in alphabetical order. So we are sorting based on that. But if we are doing it based on value, then we will compare age, like 25 come first, 32, then 33, then 46 and 56. So I'm just trying to say that this sorted can also be used to sort dictionary. How whatever you want to sort, key or value, you can pass key is equal to lambda. Lambda is used to iterate over each item in the dictionary, and here item 1 is reflecting the values. Now coming to the concept, so the object built-in type like int, float, boolean, string, and tuple are immutable. And the object type built-in like less, set, and dict are mutable. So custom classes are basically generally mutable and non-custom classes are immutable. So coming to this concept of mutable and immutable, what exactly this means? So the value of an immutable object can't change, but its constituent object can. So for example, what I wanted to explain through my tuple are immutable. So if you are defining my tuple 1, 2, 3, and if you want to change the item at 0 index and you pass, then this will throw the error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. But same thing, if you do it with list, for example, let me add it in another cell. And if you want to change this item, then you can see that this 1 get replaced with 4 because lists are mutable. So same goes with dictionary. So you can change the item values, the assignment, but in case of int, float, boolean, string and tuple, you are not able to do so. Whenever an object is initiated, it is assigned a unique object ID. So the type of the object is defined at a runtime, as we all know. It can't be changed afterward in case of immutable. However, its state can be changed if it's a mutable object. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all.